It's called like, what is it called? It's like, hold up. What's this font called? Or Carnival, Carnivali Freak Show. Carnivali Freak Show. Carnival? Carnival. Carnival. Fuck. Carnival? Carnival. Carnival? Freak Show. Carnival. Fuck. Yo, what is going on, guys? It's your boy Cecil here, bringing guys in a video here today, bringing guys a 2D manipulated collage Western themed banner design. Yep, we're calling it that. So, as you guys can see, this is like a fun little Western kind of theme going on. I asked you guys in live stream, like, what the heck do you guys want to see? And you guys were like, manipulation, and I was like, alright, and I was like, I'll go for it. So I've seen around, of course, like these little fun, like, manipulated sort of like, I call it collage. I feel like it's a lot of focus in the middle, and there's like a whole bunch of stuff around it, and then, that's it. I have a lot of influence from the actual live stream when I did portfolio reviews, where people were just like doing like these really older, kind of things, Western things, so I was like, let me give it a shot, see what I can do, and I got this going, so, yep, that's what I'm going to be doing today. There are, I believe, like, 5 stocks or something like that, so if you guys want them, they'll be in the description down below. 5 stocks here. I think that's 5, right? That's 6. Yep. Okay. So, all right. So, yeah, if you guys want to go ahead and get those in the description down below, you guys can go ahead and do so. And pretty much we're going to get started. It's not that hard whatsoever, really. It's just a lot of fun CC work and sort of making things blend together and just try to make it look as clean as possible. And, yeah. So, I also thought this little white text here, like, made this banner for some reason. I don't know. Don't talk about it. Anyway, let's go ahead and get this thing going. And, yeah, alright, 200 likes on the video equals a secret down below, and as always, guys, don't forget to leave a like and all that cool stuff, and you haven't subscribed already, you guys should do so. Alright, let's get going. Alright, so let's go ahead and get this thing going. We're just going to hide this, and we're going to throw in our first stock, which is going to be this torn paper stock, and pretty much we're going to make this fairly big by holding Alt and Shift, and then clicking on the right-hand corner or left-hand corner, and then just making it bigger. And for this stock here, I'm going to make sure, I want to make sure I see these tears on the left and right-hand side, also the top and bottom. So the way we're gonna have to do that is, because this does have a white background, we're gonna have to fix that with using the eraser or just using the actual masking tool, which we're gonna be using right now. So follow my lead, just press W on your keyboard and then hold Shift. You can click the first one, but hold Shift for the rest of them to select multiple spots of this whites, just like so, right? And then if you guys don't know about the whole little masking little tool here, once you click on this thumbnail, both of your foreground color and your background color will turn black and white. Just in case you guys don't know, black is to erase, and then white is to bring it back in. So if you just press Alt Backspace for the quick fill for black, you can just basically erase things very, very simply, very easily, and this is how we're going to actually fill in our spots here, or excuse me, erase them. So I'm going to make a duplicate of this image again, so Control J on my keyboard. I want to make sure I get some tears on the top hand side as well. So once again, the same exact thing, click on the thumbnail, W on my keyboard, use the magic wand tool, right, and then press delete, or not, excuse me, not delete, that's if it was the eraser. Alt Backspace, sorry. And then we're gonna go ahead and just, is this one here? Is this white here for this? It is. Let me get that as well. Boom. Alt Backspace. Alright, so another duplicate for the bottom at least, right? And we're just gonna put the bottom one. We wanna have like a nice little bottom tear, like right here is pretty good. Click on this thumbnail, W on our keyboard, and make sure we erase all these little white spots here as closely as we can, so it looks as clean as we could to get it. Well, that's everything. Yep. All Backspace. Now for this actual bottom one though, it does cover the left hand side and the right hand side, so we're just gonna use the black brush, and we're gonna go ahead and just erase this around here. Make sure we show this up here again, and then show this right hand side. And I think that looks pretty good. I think that's looking pretty good. I don't want to erase too much down here. Go back. There we go. I think that's okay. Alright, so we now have the tears on all 4 sides, and so basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to duplicate this the first layer here, and we're going to make sure this is all the way on the bottom, because you see these little spots here, this is the background color, and we're going to hide that. So we just want to take these duplicates, move it over to the right to get rid of it, Control J again, Move it over to the left to get rid of that over there. And now we have a very simple sort of like fun little torn paper sort of, you know, start to go with this. So it looks pretty good. I'm down with it. And I'm going to go ahead and just throw in our second stock here, which is just going to be like more added texture. It's just a wooden texture here. I'm going to move this above everything for a second. Also move this right above everything here. All right. So on this texture here, we're just going to make this fairly big. Let's just say like so. And let's just go ahead and just turn this all the way to, where is it? Pin length. Right here, right? We're going to hold the opacity down. And we're going to say to ourselves, where, I think this looks the best, right here, right? I would say so. So we're going to take this to pin length. We're going to put it at like 25% or so. And we're just going to make a duplicate of it, moving it over to the left by holding Alt. And then we're sort of just trying to put some more texture in here, like I said. So I'm going to use this little masking box here again. Take my black brush and erase this little awkward thing here. There we go, because it overlaps as well. We just want to have it look something like this. Looks pretty good. And right now there is no brightness and contrast. We will add it in a second though, and this will pop out a lot more. So having it at 25% is definitely okay. So we're gonna go ahead now and throw in our sign. Okay, let's throw in our sign here. How big does this have to be? I would say, like, how big was it? It was fairly big. Okay, so we're just gonna make this a little bit bigger, just like so. I want to leave it like right there. Okay, now, if you guys ever struggled with actually getting all the white out of a PNG, let me show you guys really quickly how to do it. It's very, very simple, very easy. All you have to do is make sure the photo is rasterized. Sadly, you have to rasterize the layer, so fix your size up to where you want it. You want to use select color range, and then with color range, you can select any color. If you look at here, it selects any color that's like, you know, really, really closely related. So if you clicked on white, you'll get rid of all the white. So even in these little spots here, this spot here, anywhere in between these little cracks, it will select all of it, like so. Press OK, and all I can do is just delete my keyboard, and it gets rid of everything, right? Very simple, very easy. So you see how these like actual normal white spots ever like in here at all? That's what we want. So what I'm gonna go ahead and do is I'm gonna erase. I just take my eraser, a nice little 100% hardness eraser, and then just erase this stuff here. If you want to be incredibly precise and make sure you don't erase anything else, just take your pen tool, get in these little crevices here. Right? Try not to touch any of the actual images. Go on the entire left side so we can delete this. Go to your path, make sure, or you can right click, make selection, just like so. Press OK. And then we're just going to press delete on our keyboard. And there we go. Now, what I'm going to do as well is I'm going to take my eraser and erase this here. This is going to be a little bit, it's not going to be too noticeable for anyone else who's like watching it and stuff like that or looking at it. It's just, it looks good, right? It doesn't look terrible. It doesn't look like there was hooks there. It looks fairly good, fairly like invisible, right? And we're going to take these little white spots here so I can actually free transform it correctly. Right, now I can free transform it. There's something over here. Where are you? There we go, I got it. Alright, so I'm going to find the middle really quickly. There we go. Put it somewhere like right there. Looks pretty good. Alright, so now we have our sign. Now the first thing you might say is, how do you get yours look like this, right? There's a lot of color correction work, and there's also a sort of image balancing that you should like be aware of. So what you want to do is you want to make sure that this little plank here in the middle, we'll call it a plank, is closely related in color to the background. So what I'm going to go ahead and do is I'm going to use a color balance to do this. So I'm going to use color balance, and then I'm going to right click on this color balance to make sure it's clippy mask to this layer right here, right? So I have certain settings for this. I'm going to put it at -18. We'll say -17, and then we'll put it at -20, and then we'll put it at -50. Now, I'm going to flirt with this just a little bit. However, I'm going to put this to maybe... This shouldn't be at negative. This should be positive, by the way. Boom. Alright, so I think this is the closest we can get it to without, you know, crazy going... We don't want to make it incredibly the same color as the background. We want it to be at least closely related to the background. So this obviously is like a grayish tone, and we don't want that. We want some like more of like a brown, and that's how we get this color, right? It looks really good. It looks awesome, and I'm down with this right now. So what I'm going to do next is the brightness and contrast that I was talking about. So brightness and contrast, and we're going to throw this on -35 for the brightness, and then we're going to throw on 75 for the contrast, and there we go. Now we have a nice little look to it, and right away, if I just quickly show you guys, this is what happens if you don't do it, right? It looks very odd, looks out of place, it doesn't look very good, and there's no flow to it, there's no seamless to it, but this here will help that out tremendously, and yeah, I think it looks pretty good, actually. So what I'm going to go ahead and do is quickly add a little bit more sort of, a little more texture in the background. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to throw in this sign again. Believe it or not, I'm going to throw in this sign here. I'm going to make this really big. I want to make this to cover mostly everything. And then what we're going to do is we're going to use the actual little masking tool again. And this little trick you guys have, you guys care for it. If you click on this, make sure you click on the thumbnail and the masking. And then go to select color range again. And if you select the color, as you can see, it selects sort of these little patterns. And if you find a pretty good one for yourself, it's almost like a little, like a stock pattern. Ooh, that was really good, actually. Shit. Alright, I'm just going to... Alright, that's a pretty good one right there. Okay, so I'm going to press OK. I'm going to put this on linear light, which is, I believe, right here. And we're just going to lower the opacity down just so we can get a little more texture in the background. And as you can see, that does bring a lot more texture. It's not incredibly clean. It looks very now like sort of wooden and old, and it looks good. And this is how I want to have it. I'm definitely down for this. And so I think that looks pretty damn good. So we're going to go ahead and continue now. I'm going to go ahead and quickly just make this red so you guys know that this is the sign. And then right below the sign here, I'm going to throw in a nice sort of a makeshift drop shadow, right? I'm just going to go ahead and just click a couple times, just like so. I should have made my brush a little bit smaller, but I can just take my eraser, zero hardness eraser, come back in here, sort of make sure we don't get it crazy wild. Something like this, right? We're getting somewhere. We're getting somewhere. All right. I think that looks okay. All right, sweet. All right, so what I'm going to do next is I'm just going to go ahead and probably just add at least my text really quickly. And as you got the carnival text, we're just going to go call it that. And we're going to call it, what do we have? I think we had the word creative in there. We're going to put this above everything for a second. And we'll probably come back to this little creative text. But for now, that is what we're going to do. Just keep it white, just like that, just for now. And we're going to go ahead and just add a couple more things, right? So we're going to go ahead and just add a few sort of, like little stocks. I'm just going to show you where I got the stocks from really quickly. This little stock in the folder called S1 is actually a lot bigger than this PNG. So if you want to make this a lot bigger, like a little bit bigger at least, that way you have the size that you kind of want. I'm going to flirt with this size here, so if I do press OK, that way you see the quality is not changed because it's still relatively the same quality, or excuse me, this header here is 3000 by 1000 dimensions, and I believe this stock is around 160, like 2000 dimensions, so it can actually be a lot bigger than what this is giving it to when you actually put it in, so just notice that, just realize that you could make it a little more bigger without changing the quality. So, I'm going to go ahead and just take 3 different images, which is going to be this one here. I believe it's this one as well, right? Yep, this one as well. And then this little crate here. So the way I'm going to do that is I'm going to take my lasso tool. And I'm going to go around each image, just like so. Right, just like that, right? When I have this one here, I'm going to right-click it and then layer via copy. And then this is going to be one down. If you just want to see it, it's over here. Right, it'll be one down. I'll go to this one. Take my lasso tool, which is L on your keyboard. And go around this one over here. And there we go. Right click, layer via copy. Now I have that one. And then last but not least, we'll go over here and get this little crate. L on my keyboard. Get this crate. There we go. Layer via copy. And if we want to, we can just delete that because now we have the 3 stocks that we're going to be using, which is right here. I believe there is one more though. Which one is it? The fence, right? Let me get the fence really quick actually. Let's go and get the fence. So it's the fence, which is right here. Out on our keyboard, and then take this one out as well. And there we go. Right click, layer via copy. Alright, so I can just get rid of the fence for now. We're just going to call it fence so we know where it is, because it's not, I'm not going to do it just yet. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to make sure I take all the white out, and as you guys know, either you can use the actual magic wand tool if it's something like this, delete my keyboard, and then I can use the, excuse me, what is this called again? Color range, right? So you see all these little white spots, so you don't have to actually click on every last one of them with the actual magic wand tool. You can pretty much just select the white on the outside, press OK, and then it'll select everything that's white in this actual entire thing here, which is what you want, and then you can press delete on your keyboard, and then it gets rid of all of it for you guys, and oh, why is there a white sort of ring around it? Let's fix that. Let's go ahead and just take my eraser here, make sure we go around this. Do you guys hear that? What the hell is that? Just like so. This little white ring, you see it? There we go. Now I got rid of it. That looks pretty good. And then last but not least, this one here. So select color range, press this white one here, delete on my keyboard, and I believe we're good to go. There is a white ring around this one too. What the hell? I never even noticed that. Maybe it's on the actual even final image that I did. Oh well. That'll do. Alright, sweet. So now I have my 3 little images here. Now, I'm going to go ahead and do really quickly before I even start everything is I'm going to click right above my text here, and I'm going to select a color around here, which is around this, maybe this like gray or this blue or whatever. I said gray. This brown, not blue. There we go. Nice little soft brush. And I'm just going to go ahead and just click a couple times, like here, here, there, there, there. Just sort of like a nice little zigzag, like a little W. And what I'm going to do is, sorry, that was a weird one. Linear dodge add, which is right here. And I'm going to lower the opacity down a bit. And there we go. We have a little bit of color going now. You can see like it's just popping out, right? If you want to take your eraser, if you don't want light in certain spots, sort of like take your eraser a little bit. You can flirt with this a lot more, right? But just for now, just have a nice little color get in there. And we're going to go ahead and start throwing these stocks behind here. So I'm going to call them props. Why not? I'm going to throw this one behind here. Where's the actual sign? I'm going to throw everything behind the sign. So I'll put this right here, right? I'm going to make a duplicate of this. I'm going to put the left-hand side, the right-hand side over here. And now, I already sort of know where my placement was since I already did this already, but if it was for you, just kind of figure out where you want the things. Like, realistically, you even have to use the socks that I have given to you guys. I just wanted to give you guys something just in case, you know, it's hard for you to find them and stuff like that, but, you know, it all depends on what the heck you guys want to do. So, realistically, this might not even apply to you if you're not even using my stocks. However, when you do start placing your stocks around, just realize that you're going to be placing them in a, you know, sort of a spot that you feel is necessary or you feel is right. And I'm going to go ahead and just take this black brush and then erase. That's an eraser. There we go. Brush. Okay, put that over there, and we're going to put this other one, this windmill thing. Windmill. There we go. I'm going to put this one, like, right here or something. Maybe even make it a little smaller. So like that, right? Alright, sweet. And there's something popping on the bottom. That's pretty good. That's pretty fine. It looks good. Alright, so, and then I'm going to add in the fence. Where's this fence at? It's right here. I'll put this above everything, actually. And I'm going to make sure I use W on my keyboard. Magic wand tool, select that, get rid of it. And I'm going to sort of just leave it like right there. That's fine. I'm going to use the actual masking tool again. Take my black brush. I'm going to make this a 100% hardness black brush. I'm just going to get rid of this and make sure it stops right on the sign. I'm going to use my eraser. I would be more precise and use my pen tool, but for tutorial purposes, you guys understand that I'm just getting rid of this with the eraser just because, right? And I'll be as close as possible so it's not entirely ugly and annoying. Uh-oh. Let's just say like right there. Alright, there we go. And the reason why I also use this stuff is because if I wanted to, if I want to get it back, let's say I made a mistake or something like that, right? If you guys wanted to, you can just basically take your brush, make it white, and if my mouse would cooperate. Alright, that was super weird. My mouse just like gave out. But anyway, if you guys care, if you guys click on this little thumbnail on the fence, right? And you just had like, you just change your color to white and you want to bring it back, that's how you do it. It's very simple, very easy. That's why I do use the little sort of, I guess, the masking thing just for things like manipulations, because mistakes do happen and you would probably want to fix them, right? So really now at this very moment, it's sort of like the construction is kind of sort of done in a way, right? However, there's a lot more lighting and stuff that I want to do for you guys and show you guys really quickly. So above this fence here, I'm going to throw in a couple more lights or different lights. I'm going to take a different shade of brown this time. So I'm holding Alt, by the way, to get this color picker thing going on. Just trying to get a color that's like, maybe like this. Take a nice soft brush and just click on a couple more different spots. And this is just kind of sort of helping with lighting to make sure there's like no weird focus light that we have to do. And it just looks really good and whatnot. So it depends on what you guys want to do, but definitely just try out these little different lights. And even if you do like something like this, right, where it's very vibrant, if you press Control U and you take your lightness and just bring this down, the actual light of this will obviously come down and it'll look a lot better for you to kind of like mess around with besides using the opacity. And that's just something that you can probably keep in mind, right? So really quickly as well, I'm going to make sure I want to have this sign. Where's all these little props? I think these are all the props, right? Is this a prop? All these are props, right? Oh, Razor has to get it up there. I see. Probably that's why my mouse is messing up. All right. Sign, and then where's the fence? There it is. I want to make sure this is sort of in the middle, a little more in the middle. There we go. I think that looks pretty good right there. That's sort of in the middle, right? Like everything together. Yep, that'll do. Alright, so this little light here, and then pretty much now I'm going to show you guys a really cool little trick. Of course, the exposure. We got to put an exposure in here. And for the exposure, I'm going to put 0.434. And then for the gamma correction, 0.0434, please. There we go. And the gamma correction, we're going to go ahead and put in 0.78. right? And for the exposure, what this will do is sort of like give everything like an even playing field, and also put this like sort of like a foggy kind of feel to it as well over everything as well. So if you want to see like there's like no real sort of like crazy depth going on once I put this exposure on. So you can see here, it looks just like, it doesn't look like a shadow anymore, but it looks like, yes, it is like, you know, seen as a shadow, but it's not really crazy, like, you know, crazy dark and whatnot in areas. I don't know how to explain it. It just looks good, and I really suggest you guys do it. Something I've been doing for like forever, and it's something I really, I don't know, I like it. So one thing as well that I want to do is a color balance, again, over everything this time though. And the color balance I'm going to put on is going to be a -11, -5, and then 40. And this will kind of give me like a nice blue tint. And I think this looks really good in my opinion. Yes, the orange is sort of weird and whatnot for me. I don't want too much crazy orange. I want a little creativity with it. I want nice little blue tones to it. So if you guys want to, you can lower this down if you don't want crazy blue tones. But it's sort of what I wanted, and I like it. I do like it a lot, so I'm going to put it on 35. Maybe not 40. 35 is fine. That'll do, right? And then I'm going to put also another brightness and contrast. Or actually, we'll do vibrance. Vibrance. And I'm going to put this at -25 and then 30. Right? It's kind of like just bringing out a little more color and stuff like that, right? And really quickly, let's just go ahead and add another light. We're adding some layers of light. We're gonna add this like dark brown in like areas like this. Maybe we'll use soft light this time and not whatchamacallit. Yeah, let's try soft light. Soft light, there we go. You know what we could do as well is to make sure like all these edges on the outside look kind of like burnt. We can use soft light as well. Let's just go ahead and put this on linear light for now. Control U, lower the brightness down here. Maybe even change the color a little bit. Is there a better color I can use? That'll look good. The green tone, that looks pretty good. That tone right there is fine. Alright, so I'm going to say below everything besides the props. So right below the props, we're going to call this props. We're going to take our brush, and we're going to take a black brush. And we're just going to take the black brush and simply go around just like so. You can almost call this like a vintage thing or whatever, but if you put it on soft light, make everything nice and dark on the outsides. If you want to lower the opacity down, of course. Also, if you want it crazy bleeding or whatever, just take your eraser and re-go around. But you can definitely look at it, looks more stained and stuff like that. It looks really good in my opinion. So, really quickly, just because it's going to be bothering me if I don't do it, is the text. So, I'm going to change the text color really quickly already to like something like, I think this... Around this is the best color, I think. Yeah, this color looks pretty good. And what I'm going to go ahead and do is I'm going to press Control T, and I'm going to press this little wrap tool here. Now, if you guys don't know about the wrap tool, on the left-hand side, these little things come up, and you can put arc, you can put whatever the hell you want. But a little cool thing as well is if you want to click this, you can do other different kinds of arcs or whatever, or different sort of angle. And I'm going to use this type of arc. I'm going to lower my blend and stuff like that. I don't have a complete setting for this as well. I'm just going to sort of like freehand it really quickly, but sort of just have a little fun with it. Just give it a little displacement, give it a little fun. I'll even say that looks pretty good right there. Press OK. Right, it just looks a little more better, right, than just having a stagnant, sort of static, just look to it. I think this looks pretty good as well. I'm gonna go ahead and just put over. Let's just put over. I'm gonna take this then. I'm gonna take this, duplicate this, and then put this above the text, and then clippy mask it. Right, let's get a little more texture on it, just like so. Maybe even take this little number 2 here. This is my second one. Right click, clippy mask this. And then find a nice little, let's see, what will look good? Let's see, what color? That looks pretty badass. Let's lower the opacity, of course, a little bit, though. I think that looks pretty good. That's fine. We'll add actually quickly a nice little drop shadow, of course. Drop shadow, and then we'll just lower this distance down. Well, no, put the distance up, but lower the size down. Okay, okay. Put the opacity maybe like 85 or so. I'm liking it. Let's go ahead and put this inner glow maybe. Take a color from the outside. I'm even this brown. That looks pretty good. I'm definitely down. Press OK. Press OK again. The text looks 10 times better now. And now really quickly I'm going to go ahead and just add a couple more things like the wheel. Let's go ahead and add the wheel. Make that a fairly good size, right? I can just go ahead and take this and erase this with the black brush. Click on this little thing here. Wait, is that the thing? Yeah, it is. Where's the black brush? I'm using the white brush. Change the black and get rid of this. Sweet. I'm going to put this thing right here. And we're going to put another one, a copy over here as well. Just rotate it like right there. And then even make another copy of it, make it super small. Put it down here. And then we'll take our gun. Throw this in here. Right? And then I'm going to just quickly use rasterize really quickly. Select color range. Press white. Press OK. And then delete on my keyboard. There we go. We'll shrink this to a fairly good size. And then put this right over there. Okie dokie. That looks pretty good. And pretty much last but not least, you can sort of add a complete sort of brightness and contrast over everything, like -20 and then 40. There we go. We're looking real good. And these little spots that are kind of sort of dark to you, go ahead and just make a new layer. Take a brush, take a nice brown or whatever from the actual canvas here. I'll just use something like this. A nice soft brush. Just click a couple times around, and then use linear dodge add. Right? Lower the opacity down a little bit. So anywhere you want this little bit of color, throw in that linear dodge add, and it looks pretty badass, right? Or a little bit of light, not color, excuse me. And I think it looks pretty good. These boxes are floating right now. Let's go ahead and put a quick little, where is our drop shadow? We're going to put the drop shadow next to this drop shadow as well. That way the color correction is still the same. Make sure we change this to black. Lower our brush. Put that little drop shadow there. And then maybe even make another layer for these drop shadows on this little fence part here. Probably not going to be the best looking shadows in the universe. However, take your time on it and then sort of think about it a little more than I am. Like I said, I already had my construction in my head since I already did the example. But things like this come out looking really good if you take your time on it. And to be very honest, I think we did a fairly good ass job recreating this, and I'm pretty hyped. Now I'm going to quickly let's just Control J everything, Control E, or shift click on everything. Let me repeat that. Click on the first layer above everything, right? Click on the last layer, hold shift so you can select everything, Control J to make a duplicate, and then Control E to merge it all together. And then you have one nice little layer of everything, right? I'm going to take my blur, lens blur, and we're going to go ahead and just add like a nice little 10 radius, 30 blade. I don't know what the hell that is, but just make sure your brightness is not up. Press OK. I'm going to use this here. Take my black brush. And then make sure we have blurs and just areas that we kind of want them. And we don't want them in certain areas as well. There we go. I think we are pretty much done. That is it. So hopefully you guys did enjoy. I hope you guys enjoyed this little fun little Western sort of theme. Maybe have more themes. Let me know if you guys want any more themes. Like, comment it down below. Hopefully you guys did enjoy. And I might be live streaming even. I'm trying to live stream like every Friday or so. So catch me on YouTube. I believe it's like it's gaming.youtube/sesohq/live. I don't know, but I will be streaming today if you guys care. Not if you're watching on the day this is uploaded. And yeah, so hope you guys do enjoy. Do not forget 200 likes on the video because I see it down below, which will most likely be the PSD of this video. We're gonna have the tutorial version and then the one I took more time on and stuff like that, right? So yeah, hopefully you guys did enjoy.